Have you ever suffered overwhelm when planning for your holiday in Vietnam, your Vietnam holiday? No one wants to get home and find out they did not see one of the best places in Vietnam. To prepare for my 90-day trip in Vietnam, I did a mountain of research and I found out that a lot of the YouTube videos were very rushed and did not cover the unique experiences and learnings from their journey in Vietnam. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with all that planning and you don't want to be one of the ones that finds out you missed one of the best places in Vietnam, and you find this out when you get home, then this video is for you. It is time to experience Hue. By the end, you'll know for sure whether or not you should include Hue in your planning or not. By the way, where is Hue? Hue, located right here in central Vietnam. In 1993, UNESCO ordained Hue as a World Heritage Site located on the Perfume River and is the capital of the new Kien Empress. This is my favourite photo. Here I am, it's evening, a hot summer's day in Hue, and I'm strolling around the 2-metre thick walls of the citadel. Felt so safe, it was so peaceful. And as I walked around, come to the Imperial Enclosure. This gate, the Nhon Mon Gate, is the only way to access the Imperial Enclosure. There are other gates, look at this beautiful gate here, but you can only exit from the enclosure from these gates. Notice the guard there waiting to stop you if you try to gain entrance. When you do decide to leave, please take a moment to have your photo taken. This was a photo taken by an innocent person passing by, and I'm so glad I asked because there are few places you will get such magnificent colours and such work, such craftsmanship. But let's go in the front. Once you enter, you will be within the 6-metre high walls that run 2.5 kilometres in length. Badly bombed during the French and American wars, only 20 of the original 148 buildings survive. You can either go left or go right or go straight ahead. And I went straight ahead to see the Tao Hua Palace, built in 1803, and an absolute favourite for taking photos of yourself in your traditional clothing. As you can see with this stunning image here, you are able to access the palace through the door there on the right. You are not allowed photos. Once you go all the way around to the other room on the other side, you will come across this small room that has these rather glorious paintings, sketches of the traditional clothing of the emperors and the mandarins. I also came across these 3 delightful Vietnamese children proudly standing in their traditional clothing. And this is a close-up of one of the many etchings and paintings along the wall. Then I went outside to find the children had joined their mum and dad, and the whole family happily allowed me to take their photo, which I was very grateful for. Oh, except for the youngest son, who's not at all happy there on the right-hand side. But perhaps the reason why he's not at all happy is it is such a hot day. It's only 8 o'clock and already I'm melting. Only another hour to go.
Xin chào. Hello. Xin chào. Hello.
Thank you. Xin chào. Hello. 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 Located immediately behind Tai Hua Palace, you will find the Halls of the Mandarins. If you like red lacquer, you will love this whole area, as indeed do even more Vietnamese women and families wanting to have their photos taken in their traditional clothing. I loved this one as well, and there are even more surprises waiting for me. We're now going to look at something that I especially went to check out, and that is the Forbidden Purple City, almost entirely destroyed in the walls. There's almost nothing left of the once magnificent Forbidden Purple City. A citadel within a citadel within a citadel, solely for the personal use of the emperor, and now used by so many of the Vietnamese people wanting to record themselves in their traditional clothing. And if you step just outside the halls of the Mandarins and look at this magnificent archway, you're looking across the grounds of where the Forbidden Purple once stood. And in the background, we can see another very special place indeed. This is the Kien Trung Palace. In 1947, during the Indochina Wars, this palace was completely destroyed, leaving only its foundations. After more than 70 years of existing as a ruin, the Kien Trung Palace is restored to its former grandeur. I encourage you to walk around and have a look at intricate detail. Then you can go inside. You will find a fascinating display of royal relics, and you can take photos. Here I took photos of the emperor and his empress. So much to see. Came across this single red lacquered chair just sitting there, and something about it really appealed to me. The beautiful thing about this is that you can take your own photos. Now we're having a look at another part of the Imperial complex, the 9 Dynastic urns. This is just half of them. I'm sure you realize that. These urns are located in the top Mieu temple. Here we have an incredible temple which houses the shrines to each of the emperors. In the same complex, you'll find what looks like red telephone boxes. Inside are trapped dragons. This is another magnificent gateway to the Dien Top residence. Now, the Dien Top residence, when you walk through here, you will find the apartments and the audience hall of the Queen Mothers of the New Yen dynasty. And yet here we have a little bit of reality after long hours walking around, getting dressed in traditional clothing on a hot day. Yes. I asked their dad if I could take their photo, and he just laughed and said, "Of course."
This is my last full day in Hue, and guess what? I'm going back to the Imperial Citadel. It was that good the first time. You should come with me.
Stop. No, you should not come with me. I really don't want to show you every single thing. There's so much more to discover in the Imperial Enclosure, and you can spend some time sitting by the lake of the lotus flowers. You can spend time discovering all of the other beautiful gateways and arches, and just immerse yourself and gain a much deeper understanding of the culture of the Vietnamese people. Coffee, Tailor, food. Start with coffee, of course. What you can see here is a Vietnamese fin, and this is my mocha pot. In my accommodations in Vietnam, they had that cooktop that meant I could not use my mocha pot. And thankfully, I cottoned on to how good the Vietnamese fin was. So that's how I had a lot of my coffee in Vietnam. Now, you're probably thinking, hang on, Victoria, Vietnam is the second largest producer of coffee. Coffee is only a few dollars per cup. Why on earth are you doing your own coffee? I guess I'm kind of crazy. But talking about doing my own coffee, I loved the Vietnamese fin. I recommend it if you want to give it a go. Let's look at going out for coffee in Hue. This is Tan full stop, a famous Instagram location, and they have incredible coffee. You can see there their version of egg coffee. I will confess, I became addicted. Have I already said this in another video? I became addicted to egg coffee. Totally my favorite. Mind you, I also like coconut coffee and, salt coffee. This coffee cost $3.25. Have a look at that little picture that just entered the screen. Tan are the perfect people to go and see if you're looking for coffee with a difference, drinks with a difference. I never ever saw such a selection in any other place that I visited whilst in Vietnam for my 90-day challenge. Mind you, I went to other places. This is Piano Lab, $4.35 for a double shot latte. No such thing as a flat white except for a couple of rare cafes in Vietnam. Piano Lab is in the famous Hue walking street. In that same street, you will find the Tailor. Look at this print. When I saw it, I was gone. I was debating, should I get another dress made when I'm in Hue? Because the tailors there had quite a reputation, just as the tailors in Hoi An did. When I saw this material though, I thought, that's it. I'm a goner. I will make this dress. This is the same dress I had made with my second dress in Hoi An. It's a simple dress, as you can see, but when you have a stunning print, you need simple lines. And here is the dress after the tailor did it exactly as I asked. I love it. It's so comfortable. It's unique. No one else will ever be wearing a dress like this. I mean, who would want a print like that? Not many. But I love it. And let's compare it now to this exact same dress with the exact same style that I had made in Hoi An. Same style, totally different look. But how much did this dress cost? 53 Australian dollars. And the tailor is Beau's Tailor Shop in the famous walking street in Hue. I recommend her. Food! Everyone's excited about the food in Vietnam. Now, I know you'll probably expect me to tell you what this is. I can't. Except to tell you it cost me $4.45 and was very tasty. In that same walking street in Hue, I found the Paris Bakery, owned by a Frenchman, surprise, surprise, with a name like that, and his Vietnamese wife. It was a delight to have an authentic, beautiful baguette, and filled with mortadella and good cheeses and so on. I enjoy banh mi's. There's no doubt about my enjoyment of banh mi's, but every now and again, I just think, well, for me, I needed to have food that I'm used to. How much did this cost? In comparison to a banh mi, quite expensive. So $7.60, a heck of a lot less than you'd pay for it in Australia. And look, I did indulge. Have I ever told you that I have a sweet tooth? And still on food. This area, this little cafe, is virtually a 4-minute walk from my accommodation in Hue. I'm about to show you what they do with these ingredients, and it cost $7.35. The accommodation. How lucky was I that I lucked onto the perfect homestay. Like all homestays, the family were very kind and very generous with their time and wanting to help, which is why I love homestays. And they were within the citadel walls. I could walk down the street probably about 3 minutes and I'm at one of the gates of the Imperial Enclosure. The only thing is, you can only go in the the front gate. I knew I should have written that down. Anyway, that's still only a 20-minute walk around the citadel walls, and it's quite magnificent. You're just there safely on the wide footpath, no motorbikes. No having to walk on the roads. You're safely walking around the citadel walls. I loved this accommodation. It was about 7, possibly a 9-minute walk to Tan. As I just said, around 25-minute walk to the entrance of the Imperial Enclosure, and so many other places to eat and just walk around and see how the locals live within the citadel walls. Enough talk. Let's check out the accommodation. I have just arrived in Hue, off the train, and I'm at this next homestay. Now, I'll spare you the 3 flights walking up the stairs.
to go onto this common area here. So this is where you can come and sit. They supply a teapot for you to use. So this is an area that 3 rooms can use. And this is my room. I must say, I'm very happy with it. Nice looking mattress. It's got everything you could need here. Beautiful. I love these windows that open right up. I'm not too sure about being across from a billiards and coffee place and the Railway Hotel. I'm pretty confident they'll probably have karaoke nights. But what the heck? You're in Vietnam. You just have to have the karaoke nights. Now, what about the bathroom? Let me show you where my bathroom is. It is my bathroom. I don't share it with anyone. But when I do my night pit stops, I have to come out here. It's no hardship. It's not like there's a huge public thoroughfare. And this is my bathroom. And very clean. Hello. Very, very nice indeed. And even though I'm rather used to the wet showers, I quite like that I can just have a shower and not have water running all over the floor. I kind of like that. So that's it at my new homestay in Hue. And tomorrow, or perhaps even later, I am checking out the Imperial Citadel.
Thankfully, I discovered the Japanese. The Vietnamese fin. Time for facts. Did I make my $50 daily budget? Remember that $50 is my preferred amount. I can go up to $60 and still say that I am travelling and living overseas on my Australian aged pension. Let's find out. Accommodation, $148.40. Coffee and beer and juice, $24.95. Food, $100.50. Supermarket, $17.25. Grab, $97.50. Miscellaneous, $34.55. This includes 40,000 dong spent on laundry, and 40,000 dong is $2.40. It also includes 2 entrances to the Imperial Enclosure at 200,000 dong each, which is a mere $12 entrance fee, plus entrance fee to one of the royal tombs, the Tu Duc Tomb, which is my next video. All comes to the grand total for miscellaneous of $34.55. What is the total for 7 days? Oh, $60.45 per day. I am counting that as a win. Woohoo!